the channel, he's finally here. We got the Chase Edition Sandman from WWE Mattel Elite Series 111. And in the back half of the video, we're ranking the entire wave from my least favorite to my favorite.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another WWE Mattel Elite unboxing and review. And today on the channel, from Elite 111, we got the Chase Edition of the Sandman, finally. But of course, in the back half, we're going to rank the entire wave of Elite 111 from my least favorite to my favorite, so stay tuned to that. But of course, for all your Mattel Elite needs, hit up Ringside Collectibles, use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. Gotta get a deal. And of course, we're going to do this unboxing like we do all the other unboxings on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And of course, rankings to come here. But the Sandman Chase, finally in my hands. I always pre-order these at Ringside Collectibles, of course. And for whatever reason, this was delayed for a couple of months. It was a very shocking thing, as we haven't seen that from Ringside in a long time. Obviously, it's not Ringside's fault. They would get it out to us yesterday if they could. They want our money like everybody else. They are a business. Unfortunately, Mattel couldn't fulfill the orders right away. For whatever reason, I don't know what happened. It's those beautiful pants the Sandman's wearing, I guess. The only thing I can think of. But the Sandman, ready to rock and roll, strut and stroll in the surfer-style Sandman gimmick a little bit here. We got the WWE logo looking good. Sandman, Sandman Glamour Shot, Elite, WWE. All the usual bells and whistles on the front. 8 and up, Mark Summers on the couch. Sandman representing ECW. First time in the line, hopefully never last time in the line. Give me all the Sandman figures. Certified authentic, elite. On the back, a nice photoshopped image of him over the crowd, looking interesting there. Got the tail of the tape, we got the blurb, we got the cross-sell, we got the gibber, we got the jabber. Let's see what it says about our friend the Sandman. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, have a cheesesteak for me. Height 6'4", 240 pounds. Finisher, the White Russian leg sweep. Oh, dreaded finisher right there. Sandman entered night after night through the ECW faithful before sending his opponents to Never Never Land with extreme violence. Career highlights: ECW champion, ECW tag team champion. Sandman, one of the Mount Rushmore characters, see you later, goodbye, of ECW if you ask me. He's one of the big things. Him, Tommy Dreamer, Terry Funk, of course, putting him on the map, if you ask me. And then you got Raven. There's been a lot. Taz, of course. Dancing Stevie Richards. We'll never forget him as well. Looking good in the plastic prison here. Gonna pop all these cans out. And I'm honestly shocked. Now, of course, we already unboxed the regular edition of this Sandman, so there's going to be a lot of stuff we've seen before. But that's okay. We're here for seeing things multiple times sometimes. Clip strips right there. There's 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. Oh my gosh, on the arms too. We're locked up all over the place for the Sandman. And you got to lock the Sandman down. It's kind of like getting a designated driver for the Sandman. You got to be careful. You got to lock him down. It's the best you can do. It's the best you can do, of course. There it is. See you later. Goodbye. All right. Let's get down to business with the Sandman here. There's stuff I like about this figure and stuff that pains me, but it's not a big issue. Not a big issue, but we'll talk about it here. But we do get the pop cans, soda cans, beer cans, any kind of can, not exactly sure. We get 4 of them. I honestly would have been okay with 1 or 2, but they gave us 4 of these. I don't know if you're supposed to have some sitting around him on the ground or something, like you already powered through them. They are unnamed cans, just plain Jane cans, so you could get a sticker, put Budweiser on there, put Busch Light, put PBR, put whatever you want on there. Choose your own beer adventure, or put Coke or Pepsi, whatever you want to do. Got 2 gripping hands out of the package, and then we get 2 more gripping hands. I'm here for that. Very interesting in the gripping hand world. So we get 4 straight up gripping hands. Identical hands. Is that the way it's supposed to be? I can't remember how the other one came. It's been so long, but it's identical hands. I thought the last one had like a deeper grip hand or something for the beer can. I do not have that in this one. Maybe I just molded that on there. I'm not sure. What are we doing? I don't know, but we got the same set of hands again. I don't know if we really needed that, but here we are. Here we are. Thank you, Mattel. Now we got the old kendo stick, Singapore cane, interchangeable. Somebody said, it's not a Singapore cane, it's a kendo stick. Come on, we know what it is. It's a Singapore cane kendo stick. Goes both ways. It's okay. We all know what we're trying to get the point across here. Got the white on the handle. Got the, is it bamboo, I believe, right here? And then you got the white tips looking very nice on this one. So we're ready to bounce somebody over the head with it, hit them up, do whatever we need to do at the end of the day. Looking good in the old kendo stick department, but we're not done. We're not done. We're diving into the Sandman here. And one thing I like, but I don't like at the same time, it's a tough one mentally here, is the barbed wire wrapped around the waist and around the head. I removed it from the last one, had to in the review, going to do the same thing here, but it just never goes back on the same way. It never goes back on as good. Always frustrating to me, but it is what it is. We got to do it for science. We know how it is, but we got that barbed wire wrapped all around. Really cool to get this barbed wire because you don't have to have it wrapped on here. You could wrap it around a ring rope. You could do whatever you want to. Choose your own barbed wire adventure. You got an animal farm, you're trying to keep the pigs in, put it on that. Do whatever you want to do, but it is cool to get barbed wire with a Mattel Elite. I am here for that, of course. Now, we do get a Soft Goods ECW shirt on here. For me, this era Sandman won't be wearing this shirt. So, once again, you got to make him as different as possible. That's what I'm going to do with this Sandman. I'm going to remove this shirt. I'm going to put this with somebody else. Not exactly sure who yet, but I will put that with somebody else along the way. Starting with Sandman in the head sculpt department. Looks just like Sandman to me. A lot of people said they weren't real happy with the head sculpt here. I think it looks a lot like Sandman to me. It does not look as good as his Jakks Ruthless Aggression ECW figure back in the day. That is an amazing likeness to the Sandman, but I do think this looks good. I do think this gets the point across. I do understand that this is the Sandman, seeing that right here. So I think it does look good. Yeah, the blonde hair looking good, 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, a mouth. He's playing those Sandman hits. 2 gripping hands out of the package. We talked about that. A little bit strange there. Not exactly sure what's going on with the hand department. But I'm going to pull this barbed wire off, and I'm going to pull the head off. That's what I'm going to do. How can I do this without... there's nothing I can do. You just got to untangle the mess. It sucks. I wish it wasn't like this, but here we are. Here we are. We got to unwrap the barbed wire. Just unwrap it around. There we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. And there it is. Old barbed wire. Very, very cool. Definitely something you'd have in ECW. Definitely something you need in ECW. I wish they just had it a little differently here because I hate having to take it off of the figure. But we got to remove the shirt, of course. We got to remove this shirt. And the Sandman, he's got his singlet up here over the top in red. So it's Surfer Sandman all day long. Now, we did have a red shirt over the top of this usually. There was a couple of different looks he had. I'm not sure if this is totally accurate. I don't think it is. We go to the Threadhead stores of the world and get a custom shirt for this. I think they even have this one for this one. Very smart business move on their part. But for right now, this is how I'm going to display this Sandman. Just make it feel as different as possible. And he really feels different with the red, white, and blue pants on this one. Feels like he's getting ready to join Hacksaw Jim Duggan at the 4th of July parade is what it feels like here. But that is the major difference between these two figures is the pants, of course. You get the crazy kind of skull pants on this one. You get the red, white, and blue America pants here. Same shoes on both of these as well on there. So for those keeping track at home. He does have a different top over the top of this one compared to this one. Same head, same body style, everything else. Looking good, though. 2 different versions of the Sandman. It feels different, and that's what it's about to me. Of course, articulation, arms all the way around, bicep cut, double-jointed, pinless elbows playing those hits, hands back and forth, side to side, head back and forth, side to side, waist articulation, up and down at the ab crunch. Leg does go up, leg does go out. You do get the double-jointed pinned knees. No pinless here. Pinned knees on this one. Ankles back and forth, side to side, up and down. The usual Mattel articulation, of course, should fit on a ringside collectible stand. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. Make sure you get the Mattel stand from Mattel figure. And it needs to be said every once in a while, of course. But looking good. It is early Sandman. It's before ECW. This feels more Eastern Championship Wrestling than Extreme Championship Wrestling to me. Probably because it is. Would be nice to get a surfboard to carry around with this one as well. Can we get the surfboard for him? Sure, we can find one from some toy line along the way. We've had a surfboard a time or two from some other toy lines. But very cool for what it is. Very disappointing on the weight here, but that's not Ringside's fault. That's not other retailer's fault. That's Mattel having issues with this figure for whatever reason. But it is here now. Elite 111 is complete with the Sandman chase. And now we got to bring them all back together, and we got to rank the entire 111 line from my least favorite to my favorite. All right, let's get down to the set rankings. Of course, you know how this goes. It's my list, so it's 100% right. Put your list in the comments down below. Got 7 figures here. Start at number 7. Work our way to number 1. Number 1 being my favorite figure from Elite 111. So without further ado, let's dive into it. As I said, 7 figures here, counting the chase. Who is coming in at number 7 for me? One thing I will say about this set, for the most part, everybody's pretty close together. We've seen that a lot with a lot of the Mattel sets. Hasn't been clearing away. This guy's last, this guy's towards the end, this guy's at the top. Everybody's been kind of pushed together, I would say, in a lot of these sets. And that really means they're having well-rounded sets. And this one is another one with current superstars, past superstars, up-and-comers, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, and a little bit of that. How about that? There you go. All right, let's start at number 7. Very strange, probably not on a lot of people's list, number 7. I'm going to go Ricochet. Yeah, Ricochet. Of course, AEW's own Ricochet as we're filming this here. Nothing terrible about this one. I do like the trash bag shirt vest he has on here. That's a nice little change, a little added value to this one. Does look pretty good for what it is, but for the most part, I feel like we've been there before. It is a nice new Ricochet, but we've had a lot of Ricochets, just like we've had a lot of Cody's, Finn Balor's, things like that. And speaking of Finn Balor, going to put him in at number 6 here. I like Finn Balor a whole lot. We did get a Finn Balor just a couple sets ago, and I do put that one over this one because we got all those extra heads. So there's a lot you could do with that Finn Balor. Feels like this one came on the heels just a little bit too soon for me. You guys let me know in the comments your thoughts on that. But Finn Balor going to come in at number 6. Now we're going to the number 5 spot here. I am going to go... You know what? It's close, but I'm going to go Cody Rhodes. Good friend of the channel, Cody Rhodes, coming in at number 5. Time for some new Cody Rhodes head sculpts. I've been saying it for a while. We keep getting the same ones over and over and over. I'm ready for some new heads on Cody Rhodes. I like this screaming and yelling head, but it is a very big head. It looks a little bit big for the body. Like the coloring on this. The white always looks really good on Cody Rhodes. A good, plain Jane, solid Cody Rhodes figures. Not a lot of extra bells and whistles with this one. There's no big entrance jackets, that kind of stuff. A good playability one, a good one for the masses, I will say that. And this Cody going to come in at number 5 for us here. And I'm going to put Trish Stratus at number 4. Trish has had a rough start and finishing a little bit more stronger here with Mattel. As she's had some really rough Mattel figures over the last couple of years. She just got one re-released in the WrestleMania line. I think that was about a year ago. To So-So, basically a re-release at this point. This one feels new. Obviously, it's a current Trish Stratus, which we definitely needed from that run. But this one is so much more improved than her last few figures. It was time to finally get a good Trish Stratus figure, and this one is a very nice figure. Love the cloth accessories. Love the hat. Love the one hand for her. Just definitely a good Trish Stratus figure after a long time of not having good Trish Stratus figures. So that feels real good here. Now we're down to the final 3. The final 3... And you know what? I'm going to go Sandman, red, white, and blue. I'm going to put him in here at the number 3 spot. It's just not necessarily my Sandman. I watched a lot of grainy VHS tapes as a kid with this version of Sandman. And I always said, man, it was so cool what he changed into. He was so much better when he changed. This version of Sandman, really not there for me. The infancy of Sandman being a surfer gimmick, and then a woman and Missy Hyatt being his managers, and I guess had that with the beer drinking version as well. But a very, very cool Sandman, a deep cut Sandman, a perfect spot for a chase version of Sandman. I don't think we needed this on its own. I think this is great as a chase. That worked for me. So a cool figure, just not necessarily my Sandman. Now, number 2 here, probably the biggest surprise of this list here. I'm not the biggest Tony D'Angelo fan in the D'Angelo family. They've been running NXT for the last couple of years, the dawn of NXT as we know. But I love a first time in the line figure. I always think it is fun, especially when we get early NXT superstars on their way up. A lot to like about this one, especially if you're Italian. You're really going to like this one. He's got the Italian colors on the back of the jacket, a beautiful soft goods jacket, beautiful fedora, hands that really give expression to the character. There's just a lot to like about this Tony D figure. And of course, Series 112, we got his partner in crime, Stacks. I think that was really cool to be completing these teams, even in early infancies of NXT. Just a lot of fun with this one, and truly the sleeper of the set. Not going to be for everybody, though, and I know on a lot of your guys' list, he might be at the total extra other end of the spectrum here because he doesn't resonate with you, and I get that as well. But Tony D at number 2, which leaves my man, the Sandman, at number 1. And when I think of Sandman, this is pretty close to what I think of. He was a pillar of ECW, as I did mention. I would dare I say he's probably him, Tommy Dreamer, Terry Funk, and then it gets tough. Raven, Taz, maybe even the Dudley Boys. Who's on that Mount Rushmore of ECW? For me, Sandman's got to be on there. Sabu, RVD, gosh, there's a lot. Can we expand Mount Rushmore? But the Sandman, one of those guys, was always around. The fans were always behind him. Everybody loved the entrance. He was at the top of the card, middle of the card. Wherever he was, he made an impact, and he made an impact in this toy line as well. The barbed wire is amazing. The beer cans are amazing. The kendo stick's amazing. Soft goods shirt, pants colors with the skulls on it, and I do like the head sculpt. I know not everybody is over the moon with the head sculpt. I like the head sculpt. Clearing away the number 1 for me here in 111. Just a fun set here. Like I said, everybody's pretty close. Outside of Sandman, he's far and away number 1 for me, but everybody else pretty close, and that means it's a pretty good wave for people that like all generations of wrestling. So a fun one in Elite 111. Took us a while to finish this one in the set rankings, but we finally got it done with the Sandman chase finally coming through the door here. But what about you? What say you? What are your thoughts on this set? Where do you rank this set? How do you place this set? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day, and then some. We got even more content for you over on Patreon. Patreon, best way to support this YouTube channel. You guys know that. Check out the Patreon. I really do appreciate all the support over there. Don't forget ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. My book, The Complete Guide to the Jakks Class Superstar Series, now available on Kindle. So if you're after the Kindle edition, it is up there for sale. And then, of course, don't forget Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So for Elite 111, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.